I opened my front door expecting a food delivery. Instead, I found a newborn baby. Attached to the blanket was a handwritten note with just 3 words. Ask your father. Hi, my name is Sienna Parker. I'm 28 years old. And until that rainy Thursday night, I believed I knew exactly who I was. I lived alone in a quiet neighborhood on the edge of the city. My life wasn't glamorous. I worked long shifts as a pediatric nurse, came home exhausted, and repeated the same routine every day. The only family I had left was the memory of my mother. She passed away when I was 16. As for my father, I had never met him. Mom always told me he disappeared before I was born. Eventually, I stopped asking questions. That evening, after finishing a 12-hour shift, I ordered dinner and collapsed onto my couch. 20 minutes later, the doorbell rang. I smiled. My food's finally here. I opened the front door. My smile disappeared. Sitting on my welcome mat was a baby carrier. Inside was a tiny newborn girl wrapped in a soft pink blanket. She couldn't have been more than a few weeks old. She looked up at me with calm brown eyes. She wasn't crying. She simply reached her tiny hand toward me. My heart started pounding. Hello. I stepped outside. The street was completely empty. No cars. No footsteps. No one. Then I noticed a small white envelope tucked beneath the baby's blanket. My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside was a single handwritten message. Ask your father. No name, no explanation, nothing else. Just those 3 words. The baby suddenly wrapped her tiny fingers around mine. For reasons I couldn't explain, she refused to let go. 10 minutes later, the police arrived. One officer reviewed the footage from my doorbell camera. When he walked back toward me, his expression had completely changed. Miss Parker, I think you need to see this. He turned the tablet toward me. The footage showed a hooded woman gently placing the baby on my doorstep. Just before walking away, she looked directly into my doorbell camera. Then she slowly removed one glove. On the back of her hand was the exact same crescent-shaped birthmark that I had carried since the day I was born. The officer stared at me for several seconds before quietly asking, Miss Parker, has anyone ever told you that you might not be an only child? The officer's question echoed in my head. What did you just say? He replayed the security footage one more time. The hooded woman gently placed the baby on my doorstep. Before walking away, she removed her glove. The crescent-shaped birthmark on the back of her hand matched mine perfectly. Same shape, same place. I swallowed hard. My mother always told me I was born with this mark. The officer nodded. And she may have told you many other things. I looked down at the newborn sleeping peacefully in my arms. She had no idea she had just turned my entire life upside down. At the police station, they searched every hospital record and missing child report. Nothing. No birth certificate. No missing infant report. No one had come looking for her. It was as if she had never existed. Because I worked in pediatrics and no immediate relatives could be found, Child Protective Services allowed the baby to remain with me temporarily until the investigation moved forward. That night, I barely slept. The note kept replaying in my mind. Ask your father. How could I ask someone I'd never met? The next morning, I opened the last box of my mother's belongings. I had avoided it for 12 years. Hidden beneath old photo albums was a small wooden jewelry box. Inside were faded photographs, a silver necklace, and a sealed envelope. Across the front, in my mother's handwriting, were the words, For Sienna, only when you're ready. My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside was a letter. Sienna, if you're reading this, it means the truth has finally found you. Tears filled my eyes. You were never my only daughter. My heart stopped. The day you were born, someone took your twin sister away. The room began spinning. A twin? All these years, I had a sister? Just then, the baby woke up and started crying. As I lifted her from the crib, a tiny silver bracelet slipped from beneath her blanket. Engraved on it were 2 words, Baby Parker. At that exact moment, my phone rang. An unknown woman whispered only one sentence before hanging up. Your sister is still alive, and she's coming for the baby. The call ended. I tried calling the number back. Nothing. It no longer existed. I looked at the sleeping baby in my arms. Who was she? And why did everyone seem willing to risk everything to find her? I looked at the bracelet again. Baby Parker. That wasn't a coincidence. It was a message. The next morning, I drove to the cemetery where my mother was buried. I hadn't visited in almost a year. As I walked toward her grave carrying fresh white lilies, I froze. Someone was already standing there. A young woman. About my age. Long dark hair. Black coat. She didn't notice me. She was quietly crying. I stepped closer. "Excuse me." She quickly wiped away her tears and turned around. The moment our eyes met, neither of us spoke. It felt like I was looking into a mirror. Same eyes. Same smile. Same crescent-shaped birthmark. Only, she looked terrified. "You," she whispered. "I finally found you." My heart pounded. "Who are you?" She took one shaky step toward me. "My name is..." She stopped herself. "No, it's not safe." I frowned. "What are you talking about?" She glanced around the cemetery as if someone was watching. "They're following me." "Who's following you?" Instead of answering, she reached into her purse and handed me an old photograph. It showed my mother, holding 2 newborn babies. Not 1, 2. Tears filled my eyes. "We're..." She nodded. "Twins." Before I could say another word, a black SUV sped into the cemetery. The young woman's face turned white. "They found me." She grabbed my wrist. "You have to protect the baby." "Why?" She looked directly into my eyes. "Because she's not just any child. She's..." Suddenly, a loud gunshot echoed across the cemetery. The photograph slipped from my hands. The young woman shoved me to the ground. A bullet shattered the headstone behind us. Then she screamed 4 words I'll never forget. "Run, Sienna. Don't look back." The gunshot echoed across the cemetery. My twin sister grabbed my arm and pulled me behind a marble monument. Another bullet slammed into the stone, sending shards flying past our faces. The baby began crying in my arms. "Who are they?" I shouted. "My father's men." She yelled. "Our father?" She nodded. "The man Mom told you disappeared." "He never disappeared. He found me." My heart stopped. "What?" Before she could explain, a black SUV screeched to a halt just a few yards away. 3 armed men jumped out. One of them shouted, "Take the baby." My sister looked at me with tears in her eyes. "Listen carefully. If they get that little girl, everything Mom sacrificed will be for nothing." We ran through the cemetery until we reached my car. As soon as we locked the doors, she finally spoke. "My name isn't the one they gave me. My real name is Sienna Parker." I stared at her. "Savannah." She smiled sadly. "Mom named us before we were born. Sienna and Savannah." Tears rolled down my cheeks. For 28 years, I thought I was alone. So did I. Then her smile disappeared. Our father made sure of that. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My mother said he left. Savannah slowly shook her head. "No, he took me." "What?" "When we were babies, he wanted an heir. He took 1 daughter and left the other with Mom." My breathing became uneven. "Why would he do something like that?" She looked out the windshield. "Because our father isn't just any man. He's one of the richest businessmen in the country. He built an empire by destroying everyone who stood in his way." I looked down at the baby sleeping peacefully against my shoulder. "So why does he want her?" Savannah reached into her jacket and pulled out another envelope. "This is why." Inside was a DNA report. The father's name had been blacked out, but the mother's name made my blood run cold. "Sienna Parker." I looked at her in disbelief. "This baby..." She nodded with tears in her eyes. That's my daughter." Before I could ask another question, Savannah whispered something that completely changed everything. "Sienna, the man you've been searching for isn't trying to find you. He's trying to erase both of us forever." Savannah's words echoed through my mind. I tightened my arms around her baby. "So, our father has been hunting us all these years?" She nodded. "He built his empire by controlling everyone around him. When Mom escaped with you, he never forgave her. He kept me because he believed 1 daughter was enough." I couldn't breathe. For 28 years, I had hated a man who abandoned me. The truth was far worse. He had chosen between his own daughters. Suddenly, Martin Hayes called my phone. "Miss Parker, where are you?" I hesitated. "How do you know my name?" "I've been looking for you since this morning. Your mother trusted me." My heart skipped. "My mother?" "She hired me years ago. She knew this day would come." Savannah looked at me. "Can we trust him?" "I don't know." Martin spoke again. "If you have the baby, do not let anyone see her. They've already broken into your house." My blood ran cold. "What?" "They're searching for something." "What?" There was a long silence. Then Martin whispered, "They're looking for your mother's diary." Savannah gasped. "I thought Mom destroyed it." "So did I." Martin gave us an address. "Meet me there. It's the only safe place left." An hour later, we arrived at a small lakeside cabin hidden deep in the woods. Martin was already waiting. Without saying a word, he handed me an old leather journal. The police recovered this from a storage locker your mother rented under a fake name. I slowly opened the first page. It read, "If you're reading this, Sienna, your father has already found you." Tears blurred my vision. The next page contained a photograph. My mother, our father, and 2 newborn babies. Beneath the picture, she had written, "He never wanted daughters. He wanted an heir." I turned another page. My hands froze. There was a DNA report. Not for me. Not for Savannah. For the baby. I looked up at Martin. "What is this?" His face turned pale. "The reason your father will never stop chasing her." "Why?" Martin swallowed hard. "Because she isn't just Savannah's daughter." Martin looked directly into my eyes before revealing the one secret my mother had died protecting. "Sienna, that baby is the legal heir to your father's entire fortune." I stared at Martin. "What are you talking about?" He took a deep breath. "Years ago, your father created a secret trust. He never expected to have sons, so the inheritance would pass to the first legitimate bloodline after him." I looked at Savannah. "That means—" Martin nodded. "Your niece inherited everything the moment she was born." Suddenly, the cabin windows exploded. Glass flew across the room. "Get down," Martin shouted. 2 armed men rushed toward the front door. Savannah grabbed her daughter from my arms. "No!" Before they could reach us, police sirens echoed through the forest. Blue and red lights surrounded the cabin. The gunmen fled into the trees. Within minutes, officers captured both of them. As they were led away in handcuffs, one detective walked inside. He looked directly at me. "Miss Parker, we've arrested your father." My knees nearly gave out. "What?" "He was trying to leave the country. He won't be running anymore." 3 days later, Savannah and I sat together in a courtroom. For the first time in 28 years, our father stood only a few feet away. He looked older than I imagined, but his eyes were cold. The judge asked if he had anything to say. He looked at me, then at Savannah. "I gave you both life." Savannah quietly replied, "No, you stole ours." The courtroom fell silent. The judge sentenced him to decades in prison for kidnapping, fraud, conspiracy, and attempted murder. As officers escorted him away, he never looked back. Months passed. Savannah and her daughter moved into the house beside mine. For the first time, we celebrated birthdays together, holidays together, life together. One evening, while cleaning out the last of my mother's belongings, I found one final letter hidden inside her old Bible. It was addressed to both of us. "My beautiful girls, if you're reading this together, then my greatest dream finally came true. I couldn't protect both of you forever, but I prayed that one day you would find each other." Savannah reached for my hand. Neither of us could stop crying. I looked at my little niece playing in the garden. She smiled at us. And for the first time, our family wasn't built on secrets. It was built on love.